Circumstances, circumstances, circumstances. That is what I keep hearing about in the comments, etc. All riddled with circumstances. And you know what? Circumstances, what? Do not matter. Period. And if you want to hear why and the little rant about it, then stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Spilling the Tea Tuesday. My name is Flossie, and I am a mindset coach. In fact, I think I'm like the funniest, wittiest one here on YouTube. However, having said that, if you would like one-on-one coaching with me, links will be in the description box below. I keep trying to put together some amazing bundles, packages. Just keep your eye out for it, as well as links to Nikki's coaching, Nikki's manifestation evaluation, and the fun things that we've got going on. If you are not you know what? I already can't talk. If you are not part of the VIP group, then think of joining. Why? Because it's lit, fun as fuck, and VIP group is like Vegas. Whatever happens there, stays there, period. And if you want to do the self-concept challenge, it is free for VIP group members. So that is essentially like getting VIP group this month for $5 because self-concept challenge, it would be normally $25. So feel free to join. Anyway. What I was going to start my rant about is circumstances. I'm having people having comments about their circumstances like as if they're the only one that has ever A, experienced that stuff, but B, as if it actually matters. You know what? It doesn't matter. I had one person, they were talking about how their SP, I guess, is a celebrity, so there's thousands of third parties. No, there's not. Not if your SP only has eyes for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people are interested in your celebrity SP. Why? Because they aren't going to give a what? A fuck about any of those hoes and bitches because they're only going to have eyes for you. So literally, circumstances do not matter. It doesn't matter if there's 5,000 miles, 1,000,000 miles between you and your SP. I don't know if there could actually be 1,000,000, but I guess that's where I need to redo some science. Anyway, do you remember that song by the Proclaimers? You know the one where they're like, I'd walk 500 miles, and then the other dude's like, I'd walk 500 more. And they're talking about getting 1,000 miles to show the fuck up at your door, period. Yeah, circumstances, mileage, doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Why? Because whatever has to move is going to move for you to get your fucking manifestation. Those are facts. Those are just facts. I know that you guys know about Neville and Abdullah. Well, do you remember that Neville wanted to go to Barbados and he kept going to Abdullah saying that he wanted to go to Barbados? Abdullah's like, the fuck, you're in Barbados, slamming the door in his fucking face. And guess what? He went to Barbados. And then when he was in Barbados and he wanted to go home, he wasn't going to be able to go home. He was freaking out about not being able to go home, but he was visualizing himself go home. And guess what? A family decided to give up their seat so that Neville could get home. And they picked out Neville's family out of all these people, period. Why? Because circumstances do not matter. Whatever has to move will move for you to get your manifestation. Doesn't matter if it's one person, 10 people, 10,000 people, 1,000,000 people. They will the fuck move for you to get your shit. My clients know this, but I don't really talk about this a ton here. But with my original SP, I literally manifested that foe to show up at my door on a day that I said a month prior. And then on that day, I set a time. And guess what? He showed up at my door, rang my doorbell in a 60-second window. Do you know how many people had to move for me to get that manifestation? For him to show up at exactly the time I said, period, because of the city and the traffic and all this, that, and that's going on? Yeah, those are just hardcore fucking facts. That was the day, by the way, I knew for sure that I was operating Power My Reality, to have someone literally show up in a 60-second window when I said the time that they would show up to another person in writing, and it was a joke, bantering back and forth. And guess what? That person showed the fuck up. Of course, they didn't have any idea. I was talking to someone else. But anyway, circumstances literally do not matter. You take the circumstance and you throw it in the trash. Why? If you're manifesting an SP, I don't care if that person, he or she, has 50 hoes on each arm and 1,000 third parties. If you're affirming for your relationship and you're thinking from the reality that you want to be in, that you guys are in this loving, committed relationship, you know what? That is like spraying all the hoes and all the third parties with bitch begone spray. Yeah, spray those bitches like a fucking wasp, aka affirming. It doesn't matter whether you're looping affirmations. I say affirming as a generalized term to mean having the same repetitive thought over and over again to where you're changing your dominant thought and assumption about whatever it is that you're experiencing, period. Period. So if you're affirming that, spraying all those mofos with bitch begone spray. Facts. So affirm for what the fuck you want, and those circumstances will disappear because circumstances only exist to you. Because circumstances truly don't matter. It doesn't matter if it's about a job. I don't care if there's 500 fucking candidates, they will pick you. I had a client one time actually do revision. And you can watch my videos on revision because I'm not going to cover revision here, but they didn't get selected for a job. They did revision, and guess what? They had emails and shit disappearing, and then the person who took the job ended up not being able to have the job, and she got the job. Circumstances do not fucking matter. They literally, legit, don't matter. Doesn't matter the distance, doesn't matter if there's 50 hoes, it doesn't matter who or what the fuck is in your way. When you are affirming and persisting that you have what you want and you're thinking as if you already have it, and you're affirming and persisting in that and you're staying laser focused on it, guess what? Shit disappears, moves, it shifts. There's all this movement that can be happening behind the scenes, and dip, damn, boom, you have your fucking shit. That's why all of us coaches are like, circumstances literally do not matter. I have heard some of the craziest fucking circumstances on the face of this planet, and they did not fucking matter. Did not matter. People manifesting back sweethearts that were in another relationship that they had no relationship, really no contact with, affirmed and persistent. Guess what? Person ended up coming back and they were getting their shit. Facts, facts, facts. So I get fired up about circumstances because I know that you get upset, and I know what it's like to have to interact in the 3D, and I know that sometimes we want to react to that shit. I react. Look at me. I'm reacting right now. Kind of. But you know what I'm saying. You know what? We're humans. We're having a human experience. It's okay. If you are having a minute, have that minute. Write one of Nikki's fuck you letters, which has been in plenty of videos, but at any rate, write a FU letter. FU letter, you write whatever it is that you want to say to that person's face, or whatever the topic is, what you want to say. Remove all social niceties. How you feel about manifesting it. No, we're not playing the blame game. I say this every time I talk about it. It's just, you're just be like, I'm not happy I manifest this shit, and then you burn, destroy it. Period. Why are you doing that? Because it helps you to feel better when you're reacting to the 3D. Do you have to write a fuck you letter? No. You can cry your eyes out if you want. You can go punch some pillows if you want. But do you want to really be downward spiraled? I know that I've spiraled. I've had clients spiral. I'm sure a lot of you guys have spiraled. It doesn't feel too pleasant. You write a fuck you letter, it makes you feel better. Makes it easier to persist through the circumstances that don't matter. Because why? When you write the FU letter, it's putting that shit in the fucking trash. It is a way to put it in the trash can so that you can persist for what you want. Manifestation is actually really simple. You change your dominant thought and assumptions, your 3D reality must conform. It's fucking spiritual law. How you get to change your dominant thoughts and assumptions, up to you. You know, really, it's saturating your mind and continuing to have the same thought over and over again. Now, if you're one of those people and you're at the part in your journey where you can literally be like, no, this is the way that it is, bitches. This is a fucking fact. This shit's mine. It belongs to me. Facts. And you're just kind of like, it's mine, it belongs to me. Why? Because I'm a master at manifesting and I own this bitch. 3D is my fucking bitch. I own this reality. And you whip that shit into shape just because you're like, this is the way that it is. Good for you. A lot of people can't do that though. Like, they're just not there yet. They can affirm for that. They can persist for that. And they can change to where their 3D reality works that way for them. But if you're not at that moment, you know what? You need to do the repetition. You need to be affirming. You need to be like, no, this is the way that it's going to be in your mind. You're just like, this is the way that it is. This is the way that it is. I'm in this loving, committed relationship. I already have it. I have this job. I already have this fucking job where I'm making tons of money doing what I love. I already see my SP every fucking day because the 5,000 miles did not fucking matter. We see each other every day. Whatever had to move, moved. And I have my shit. Like, that is what you stay on top of. Money, got it in my bank. I'm rich as fuck. I've got thousands upon thousands of dollars. I always have more than $50,000 or $500,000, whatever amount of money that you want. And all my bank accounts at all times. You just keep persisting and thinking as if you already have it, and whatever has to move will fucking move. I've manifested gain loads of money. Like literally one time, like last year, manifested about $60,000 in 4 months. Most of that money I did not lift a finger for. Did you hear me? $60,000 without really doing a bunch of additional effort. In fact, you know, actually, a good portion of that, well, a reasonable portion of it was a gift. So literally, you can have whatever that you want. Even if you're like, how am I going to get that? Doesn't fucking matter. Avenues will show up. Things will move. Those are just fucking facts. So again, let's review. 1,000 third parties, doesn't fucking matter. 50 fucking hoes on each arm, doesn't fucking matter. 5,000 miles, 10,000 miles, literally doesn't matter. Think about the Proclaimer song. Someone else applying for your job, a ton of candidates thinking that you're not qualified, doesn't fucking matter. There are tons of people who've gotten shit that they supposedly weren't qualified for. Struggle to learn? Well, now your brain's a supercomputer. You just keep affirming and persisting, get your fucking shit, throw the negative ass shit in the trash, and like, I think the rant is done. I think I'm done. But you know what? Stop complaining about your circumstances. Get your fucking shit. Period. Why? Because it's yours. It belongs to you. You're the fucking operant power. Get your shit. So, until next time, I'll see you later.